Hi dear students, welcome back to computer science class. We have already learned data types in SQL, the basic data types used for storing numeric value which includes both integral part as well as fractional part, integral whole numbers as well as fractional part, or we can say floating point decimal values, and string type or character type used for storing fixed characters as well as varying characters, and date and time used for storing date value and time value, and finally boolean, right, used for storing logical true or false. Plus we have seen data types belonging to boolean type for storing higher values, higher data values. So now it's time to look at or heading to our next topic. It's all about the implementation part. Okay, we are heading to the implementation part of SQL, and just before implementing SQL directly, we must have an understanding of the terminologies which we are using at the time of coding, right? So in this session we'll first look at the terminologies, basic terminologies, and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so actually what is SQL? SQL stands for structured query language. It's a computer programming language, standard programming language used to develop the back end of a software, right? And it consists of predefined set of commands. SQL consists of predefined set of commands that used to manipulate relational database, right? And just before implementing the concept, we must know which are the terminologies, basic terminologies used at the time of SQL coding, right? Yes, terminologies like keywords, clauses, commands or statements. Okay, yes, let's look at one by one. It's a predefined set of commands. SQL is a predefined set of commands to work with relational database, and basic terminologies like keyword, clause, and statement. And actually, what is a keyword? Keyword is a single word, right? It's a predefined word with some meaning. It's already defined there in the SQL, and it has some meaning, right? Yes. And keywords are individual words with specific meaning or special meaning. For example, select is a keyword, from is a keyword. Usually keywords are given in capital letters. Okay, yes. So keywords are predefined word having some already defined meaning, right? Yes. Select is a keyword used for selecting. From is another keyword which selects from which table we are going to get the data. Okay, yes. Next one is clause. Clause is somewhat a kind of logical aspect. Okay, logical aspects used along with SQL command. So a distinct logical part of SQL statement is called clause. Distinct logical part of SQL statement is called clause. Example, where we are using where clause along with select statement, right? Yes, just for restricting the tuples to be selected. So we are applying clause, condition, right? Then in the table, right? Yes. So these are some of the clauses. Hope you get the difference between keyword and clause. Keyword is a main word, of course. All SQL commands are starting with a unique keyword. We can say all SQL commands are starting with a unique keyword, but clauses are added or used inside a command or inside an SQL statement. Okay, for example, select star from student where marks greater than 95. There the keyword is select and from, right? Keywords are select and from. Then the clause is where we are restricting the tuples to be selected. Those students data are retrieved having marks greater than or equal to 95, right? Others are discarded. Yes. So these are some of the clauses where in. Okay, then statement. What is a statement actually? Instructions given to database for executing a task. Actually, statements are SQL commands, or we can say another terminology is command. SQL statement or SQL command. Okay, these are instructions given to the database for performing a specific task or any task. Okay, also called command. It's a combination of two or more clauses. Okay, it can be a combination of two or more clauses. And here we have an example: select star from employee. Select star from employee is an SQL command or SQL statement. And in SQL statement, you can see keywords and clauses. Here we don't have any clause. Okay, here we have only two keywords, select and from. And suppose the statement is something like this: select star from employee where salary greater than 10,000. Okay, select star from employee where salary greater than 10,000. In that statement, where is the clause, and select and from are the keywords, right? And all together is a command, SQL command. Actually, what is a command? What is the logic of calling it as a command? Because here we do say things or express things straightforward, right? We do express things straightforward without any application of do, while, if, all those kind of stuff, right? Yes. So when things are communicated directly, we can call it as command. Here it is like a command. For what? For creating a table, the command is create table. It's not please do create a table, do create a table. It's not like that. It's a what's very straightforward approach. Okay, yes, it's a very straightforward approach. So it's create table student. That's it. Okay, yes. Then all SQL commands are terminated semicolon. We know that. Okay, all SQL commands are terminated semicolon. At the end of every statement, you can see semicolon. Yes. Then it's not a case sensitive language. SQL is not a case sensitive language. It's a case insensitive language. Okay, uppercase and lowercase, uppercase and lowercase are not different. Both are somewhat same. Okay, yes. Then now we are going to the implementation part. Okay, okay. Here you can see database tables data. What is that? It's a connectivity statement, right? Yes. Database. First, we are creating a database, right? And after creating a database, you can create tables on that database. Tables on that created database, right? After that, you can start inserting data values into tables, right? First, we are creating a database, and we can create tables on the database, and we can have data entries or data values on those tables, right? Yes, that is the connectivity statement. Database, tables, data. Okay, yes. So here we are creating a database. Database name is school. Okay, and we have two tables in the database, school, student and fees. Hope you get it. The database name is student, and we are creating two tables. In student, school, sorry, in school, that is student and fees. Hope you get the idea. First we are creating the database school, and we are creating two tables, student and fees. Okay, yes. Here is a sample table, student with roll number, name, gender, marks and date of birth as columns or attributes, and fees with roll number, name and fees with attributes. Okay, it's simply a table. Okay, yes. Now let's move on to the actual implementation. Check which databases are currently exist. For example, just before creating a database, let's check which all databases are currently created or currently available there in the database. Okay, or there in MySQL. Okay, yes. So for that we are using show databases. The command is show databases. It's simple, right? It's very straightforward method. Show databases, which shows all the databases which are created in the in MySQL. Okay, yes. So MySQL write greater than show databases. Actually, after executing show databases, the result will be something like this. The column name is database. Then you can see MySQL test. MySQL is of course the default, and test, that's one. Okay, yes, these are the databases already existing. Okay, in MySQL. Okay, yes. Then you can see two rows in set, 0.01 set. Okay, it shows only two rows, right? MySQL and test, and 0.01, that's execution time. Okay, yes. Then we are moving on to creating database. Okay, now we have checked whether which are the databases exist, applying show databases, semicolon. Okay, yes. Now we are heading to the actual implementation. Okay, creating databases. So just before performing operations on data, you have to store those data in a table. And just before creating a table and storing data, you must have a database, right? So the first step is creating a database. Yes. So creating database, and the command is, and the syntax is the rules and regulations to be followed. That's what syntax is. Okay. Yes. Create database name, semicolon. Create database name. We know it's a command. We are telling things straight. Okay. Yes. So create database student. That's one. That's a database name. Okay. So create database student. So after executing this command, create database student, create and database are given in caps. Why? These are keywords. Okay. Then student is a user defined word, of course. Yes. So create database student, semicolon. After executing this, a database will be created. Name student. Then you can start creating tables. But before that, we are trying to open it. Okay. We are trying to open the existing database or already created database student. Okay. It's very simple. The syntax is use database names, semicolon. Use database name opens the database which we are mentioning. Okay. Yes. Example, MySQL use student. What happens? Database changed. You can use it. You can open it. Why we want to open it? Because after creating a database, you have to open it, you have to use it, right? Only after that you can create tables on that database, right? So after creating a database, you have to use you have to open it using use command. Okay, use student, it shows database changed. Okay, yes, this way we can open it for creating database, for performing any operation. Okay, that means first we have to create a database, after that we have to open it for performing operations, right? Operations like creating a table, okay, all those kind of. Then removing databases, it's very simple. Syntax is drop database, database name, just like creating database. Create database, database name, drop database, database name. Okay, drop database to what school, it will be deleted, it shows what database deleted. Okay, yes, so it's like create database, database name, drop database, database name, that's it. Okay, yes, so this way we can apply create, we can create database, we can use or open database, and we can remove database. Hope you get it, right? Yes, let's have a quick revision on this. Actually SQL commands, SQL commands are predefined set of commands used to manipulate relational database. And just before adding to the topic, we must have clear understanding of the terminologies used in SQL coding or commanding, okay, or statements or in statements. And commands are terminals like keywords, clauses, and finally statements. Okay, what's a keyword? It's a single word, individual word having some specific meaning. Example, select from. Okay, then clause. What is a clause? It's a distinct logical part of an SQL command. Okay, like where, in, then. Command, what is a command? That's an instruction, that's an instruction or statement or command, that's an instruction given to perform any specific task. Okay, then command, it's a combination of one or more clauses. Example, select star from employee. And then all SQL statements are terminated with semicolon. Then of course it's not a case sensitive language. Then first we have to create a database. After that you can create tables on the database. After that you can insert data values into the database. Here the database is school, and we have two tables, student and fees. Okay, we have a sample table here. Then first we are checking whether which other database already exists, just by checking show databases. Okay, show database semicolon, it shows all the existing databases. Then we are creating what database, use create database, database name, create database student, database will be created. Then we are using it, we are opening it, right? Use student, that's it, use student semicolon. Okay, then removing databases, just like creating drop database, database name, drop database school. Okay, now we have, it shows what database deleted. Now we have insert command. Okay, not insert, create table command. Yes, now let's move on to creating a table. We know first we have created a database. After that, the second step is creating a table, right? Only after creating a table we can enter values. So let's move on to creating a table. And the command is create table. Of course we know that create table command is used for creating a table. Then at least one column should be there at the time of creating a table. At least one column should be there in the table, otherwise it cannot exist. Okay, so that's the only condition. Plus table should have a name, columns should have names, plus data type must be specified. Okay, let's look at it. Yeah, syntax: create table, table name, then in parenthesis column name 1, data type size, comma, column name 2, data type size, comma, column name 3, data type size, etc. Meaning we can have any number of columns, right? Yes. Finally closing parenthesis semicolon. This is a syntax of creating a table, right? Create table command is used for creating a table. Create table, table name, right? Create table, table name. After that, in parenthesis we'll specify column names and data types. Column name, data type, column name, data type. Finally closing parent semicolon. Let's have an example. MySQL create table student, that's the one we have created. Okay, our database name is school, and we have two tables in school, student and fees. So the first one is student. Okay, create table student. In parenthesis, opening parenthesis, roll number integer primary key, name varchar 20 not null, comma. Okay, we have comma, gender char 1, comma, marks integer 11, comma, dob date closing parenthesis semicolon. And it shows query okay, 0 rows affected, 0.01 sec. You know what it is? Query okay, no problem. 0 rows affected, no rows. We have nothing done with any rows. Okay, 0.0. That's what the execution time is. So let's look at one by one. Create table. That's a command is for creating a table. Here the table name is student, right? Yes. Then we are specifying all the columns and corresponding data types of each column. Okay. Yes, the first column name is roll number, and the data type of roll number is integer. We are storing integer type of data in roll number. And you can see primary key. What is a primary key? That's a constraint, right? Constraints, what actually constraints? Constraints are the means by which we can prevent invalid data entry. Constraints are the means by which we can prevent invalid data entry into a table. Meaning, when we say primary key cannot be what? Leave empty, or means cannot be null, or can have duplicate values. We cannot have null value, meaning there must be a value. And another condition is the value must be unique. There must be a value in roll number here in this case, and the value must be unique. That's what primary key is. Second, name, varchar 20, the varchar, second column is name, having the data type varchar and the size is 20, and not null, it's another constraint, right? Not null means we must have a value in name, but it can be, there can be a duplication, there can be duplicacy, right? Yes, meaning there will be what number of students with the same name, right? Yes, so it's not null. We cannot use primary key here in name, right? Yes, hope you get the difference. Primary key means there must be a value and the value must be unique, and not null means there must be a value and value must not be unique, may not be unique. Okay, yes. Then gender, that's a third column, char 1 data type. Then marks, integer 11, DOB, date. Okay, and all these columns are separated using comma. Finally, closing parenthesis, semicolon. When you execute this command, a table with the name student will be created with columns roll number, name, gender, marks, and DOB. Right? Yes. Then viewing a table. Now we have already created a table. Now we are going to view a table. Okay. Just like viewing a database. How we have viewed the database using show, right? Show databases. The same way you can apply what? Show tables. Okay. Show tables, show tables in school, student. We have only one table here, student, and suppose we have created fees as well. Okay. It shows two student fees. Okay. Yes. So just like viewing a database, we can view a table as well. Applying show databases, show tables. Okay. Yes. Now let's look at the structure. Viewing a table's structure of a table. Okay. Yes. Then we can either use describe or DESC command. We can either use describe or DESC command. DESC, here we use it as a command. But in the case of what? Sorting, either in ascending or descending order, we can use it as a clause as well. Okay. Clause. Order by roll number ASC, order by roll number DSC. Okay. Yes. So here we are using it as a command, not as a clause. Okay. Yes. So describe or DSC command is used. Example, describe student, or we can say what? We can call DSC student. Both are same. Yes. This will be the structure of a table. Actually, this is a what table. Okay. Yes. Hope you get it here. And the column names are field, type, null, key, default, extra. We don't have any value in key as well as in extra. Okay. And in field, it has shown what? All the columns, all the fields, or all the attributes. Okay. Then type in data type, null yes, and default null. Okay. So this way we can create a table. You know what actually a table is? A table is a collection of rows and columns. So at first we have to specify the name of the table, right? Why we are creating a table? Because we follow relational database management system. As we follow relational database management system, we are storing data in a table, okay, in tables. So after creating a database, we are creating tables, right? We are creating tables, yes. So at the time of creating a table, name must be given. Then what column names as well as data types should be given, okay? Yes. At least one column should be there. Here is the syntax. Here is an example. And viewing a table, short tables, okay, just like show databases, and viewing a table structure like describe table name, describe student or DSC student. It shows the structure of the table. Okay. Now let's move on to insert into table command. Okay. Let's try looking at insert into table command in our next class. Otherwise, this session will be getting very lengthy. Okay. So just have a quick revision on these topics. Okay. We have what SQL commands for today's session. Okay. Yes, SQL commands. These are predefined set of commands. Okay. Then we must have keywords. We must have an understanding of keywords, clauses, and SQL statements. Okay. Then first we have to create a database using create database DB. Okay. Then you have to use database, and you can view it, show databases. Okay. Then you can start creating table, right? Creating table on the database using create table command. You can drop what database as well, right? Just like creating a database, create database name, drop database name. Yes. So Then after that we have created table, okay, using create table command and giving all the column names as well as the data types, corresponding data types, right? Yes. Then we have view the table, okay, then viewing the structure of the table as well. So this is very important, as you know, we have just started, okay. So you have to keep in mind one thing, just always keep in mind one thing, that is, first we are creating a database. After that we are creating tables on that database. Then you can start inserting or manipulating or performing any kind of operation, okay. So just have a practice, okay, thorough practice on all these topics, okay. Just try it using MySQL itself, okay. Yeah, so this is all for the time being. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. See you in the next video.